Welcome back, punters, to the Broncos Finest podcast. Not a happy episode today after the that shit show last night, but we sat through it live, might I add, and I have not went back and watched the game, but I will review this the best I possibly can, just from what I saw on the field. Didn't leave early. Obviously, Finchy is here joining us today to review what could have been. What do you think, Finch?
Oh, geez. What is there to say? From the first sort of defensive set we had, we didn't win the ruck. The forwards didn't get us going forward. We were sort of on the back foot by the fourth tackle, ready for a kick. And then that sort of pressured Reynolds and Kelly with their kicks at the end. And obviously a couple went out the full. That sort of put us on the back foot really early. And then obviously Cowboys scored off those.
Yeah, like they took their chances well. I think they played really well. And they played what you would expect from a derby, regardless of the quality of the sides. Because it has been like that for the last 3 years. Like, even when we've been playing shit, we've always turned up for these matches. So I think that's just why it makes it really hard. Like, honestly, I could have lost against anybody. It's just so hard that we have to lose against the Cowboys in that fashion, you know? I think that's what's so frustrating. You know, I could take that loss against anyone else. But it definitely made it hard for the Cowboys. And then considering we've got so many of our mates now who go for Cowboys too, made it fucking hard. And then we just
unfortunately
shit. But yeah, I think like, honestly, I still have sort of higher hopes, you know, for this season, but I think it just brought my expectations back down to reality pretty hard, pretty quickly.
Definitely.
Realizing it's like a relatively young side still, keeping that in mind. Reynolds is there, but Reynolds is not always going to play well. We've got to keep that in mind as well. Corky's asking to join, so he's going to join in right now.
Well, he sort of can't play well when the guys aren't going forward. Like at South, he had a couple of old heads there in the front row, and they would just fall in their elbows and knees and quick play the ball, and away they go. And then the next ruck, and then after that, like one or two of those rucks, they'd have Cook, running out of dummy half, creating a bit of space.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's kicking on the front foot or whatever he does. So we just didn't have that yesterday, unfortunately.
Welcome, Corky. Anyway, obviously we've just done a bit of a review so far for the last few minutes. I'm not wearing my jersey because I didn't want to put it on, but put my beanie on instead.
Come on, boys. What are you doing?
Mine's not washed, mate.
We even forgot the cans.
I've got a can, just not a beer.
Fair enough.
I spilled too much beer in mine last night.
Yeah. I basically just poured it on myself because I just thought that would be more entertaining than watching that shit show.
How fucking embarrassing being a Broncos supporter yesterday at Suncorp.
Yeah, I know. That was rough. Really rough.
It's embarrassing, when the away fans are louder than the home fans. That's a bit rough.
I was saying to Finchy before that, I just sort of it just brought my expectations for the season just really back down to reality again. Like, I've still got high hopes because I feel like we'll turn up on the odd few games, but I think it just brought me back down to just go, this is still a very similar side to that side of 2 years ago, in last year.
Yeah.
They haven't just changed overnight. We need to keep in mind that there's going to be games like that, eh? And I reckon, we can't rule out that there's going to be 50 to 6 losses against the Roosters or the Storm at some point in the year, because they're going to turn off like that again. They're not just going to magically change; they will turn off. So I think
I think that's all a case of what it was. They were just switched off for the whole game, attacking and defense. They just didn't have a think about what they were going to do. There were guys, and then on the back of that, we had guys rushing in at centre, second row, just trying to make tackles, and then they'd score outside. That's just make-up plays. That when you're behind, unfortunately, there are a couple of younger guys there. That's just how you think when you're young, really.
I think
I just don't understand.
What's that, Cook?
I don't understand how you go from playing like they did the first 2 weeks in defence, which is really solid, and they wouldn't have been easy games round 1 and 2, the amount they did defend and just kept hanging in there. So I don't know how you go from defending like that and having two very low-scoring games, winning them, and then just putting on an absolute shit show against the Cowboys.
They were in our half so much, but our territory, like with two of those tries scored off Adam Reynolds kicks out on the full, and then there were a few more tries scored off us like knocking the ball on and that. I actually like didn't really see them scoring tries after like we kicked the ball into their territory and then running the whole entire field. It was off us giving away a penalty or dropping the ball or something, which we didn't do, which we did in the first two games, but I think everyone was just finding their feet. Like other teams were doing that as well. Cowboys just played really well. I'm not willing to admit that when I've got Cowboys fans around me at the game, but they did. But I think the positive sign for me is that we play the Warriors next week. If we play shit, we're still going to be in the game, but I don't want to see that. I want to see a dominant performance. I hope the Warriors turn up too, to be fair, because I want us to bounce back off that. I want it to be a really hard, gritty game. You know, because I feel like if we win convincingly, I feel like we'll just fucking not show up the next week. You know?
Yeah.
We need
and we got the Roosters the week after too.
Yeah, exactly. We need a hard, gritty win against like a team like the Warriors before we go play the Roosters. If we lose again, like, and we played shit, then we're going to get freaking pumped by the Roosters. Well, we're not going to turn around before we play the Roosters again. I don't care how good the Roosters are going. Like, I just don't. Like, they are so much better quality. We just don't need to all turn up as a team, though, because I think we are good when we turn up as a team. We're a defensive unit, and we're pretty solid in attack, but they've just got those individual units that run over our players where they don't lock up.
Those two defensive sets we had when we were actually switched on, one Oates nearly ran away with the ball, and the other one was Cobbo with that intercept as well, or picked up that loose ball, I think it was.
Yeah,
those are probably the only two where we sort of switched on. You could see everyone was working, like getting up on the line, giving no time, like normal shit you do in a football game. But we just didn't do that for the next 20 sets. So that's a positive sign for me. Like when they switch on, they're good. But it's a case of like 2 years ago when they'll never switched on. You know what I mean?
I think maybe they just had an off game.
What's that?
I think maybe they just had an off game in a way of like they got two gritty wins and they thought they were going to come in and do the same thing.
Yeah.
And thought it was going to get a bit easier, but it didn't.
I actually can't pinpoint anyone that necessarily played bad. I think there's a few players that didn't show up, but no one I would say like really played crap. Like they were like a standout shit show. Like Tessie New just looks a bit like I think it's going to take some time. It's not like he's playing shit. I just think it's going to take a bit of time. Like for example, like players like Stags, like Farnworth is making him look not very good at the moment. Like Farnworth is playing out of his skin, and Stags is just like he's not playing bad. He's just not showing up. You know, and then Reynolds comes out and has an average game too. Like he didn't play shit. He just had an average game, and we need him to lead us. Otherwise, we're just like a bit lost. You know, because Kelly is not someone that directs the team around. Kelly is the person that plays off the back of Reynolds' structure.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'd prefer to lose a close game with a lot of effort than to get absolutely smashed off the park because it just seemed like they couldn't be fucked by the end of it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, boys, but we'll try to find some positive signs before next week. I still want to do a preview of the Warriors game. What day is that on? Is that on Sunday again?
I think it's Saturday this week.
Is it Saturday, is it?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked yet.
Well, we'll have a look at team list tomorrow. We'll see if Kevy swings the axe anywhere. Anywhere you would say that you think he might do, or what you would do yourself with sort of team list, or would you just keep it the same and just sort of let the boys figure it out for themselves?
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I'd just keep the same team again, providing injuries during the week, I suppose. But yeah, I'll just let them have another crack next week and see how they go.
Yep.
You can't. Yeah, as you said, you can't pinpoint anyone. It's it was a team effort, and which wasn't there. Everyone just had their brains turned off, I think, in attack and defence, and 30 points were scored. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
I think I'd maybe go Cobbo to fullback, maybe David Mead on the wing, just to see how that went.
I'm thinking Pereira on the wing.
Yeah.
I want to see Pereira there. I don't know why we didn't start with him in the first place. But to be honest, I don't really know who to swap out for because I think Cobbo needs to be there. I think he needs to be on the wing. I changed my mind when I saw a few comments just relating back to like someone like Tuivasa-Sheck. You know, like the amount of time that he spent on the wing for the Roosters and just really grew in confidence out on that wing. Because like fuck you, honestly, out on the wing, like you can make a few mistakes and it's not the end of the world. Like, you know, you drop a high ball or something or a spiraling kick or whatever, you know, but like making your mistakes at fullback, everyone fucking sees that. Like like everyone sees it.
You can do as little as you want or as much as you want in the wing. Like you can come in and take as many runs as you want, or you can just stay out there and, you know, do nothing. It's up to you how much you want to do during the game, you know?
That's why I love the wing. When I play.
Yeah, exactly. But so for me, I think I would like to see Pereira there, but honestly, you just don't know who would take him out. Like, unless they're looking at making a change in fullback or something. But yeah, now we don't have a Sarko to put there. So yeah, you're sort of starting to look at like you would have to put Cobbo there, or you'd chuck Mead straight at fullback or something. If you were to drop Tessie, but again, I just don't feel like that's necessary. I feel like that's swinging the axe just for no reason. They put in 2 shit performances and do it. Like if they come out next week and just play like crap again, then you have to. You've got no choice. But I don't
think there's been a few comments on Facebook about, we got rid of Azarko, now we're stuck with Tessie New at the back. Like, I don't think Azarko would have went any better.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
we would have
Yeah, you've said multiple times, Finch, that it was he's not very good from a positional point of view. Like he was always caught out all the time.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
Both of them are the same. Like one's had more time there than the other, really, by a couple of years. That's the only difference between them. Like they're both a very similar player, I reckon.
Yeah, well, that's actually one thing I did notice yesterday was Tessie knew there was a few times where like it was like third or fourth, and we were like, and they were attacking our line, and he was right up with everyone else. Like he was in the line defending just with everyone else, and he needs to be hanging back that little bit. Like, because they were putting in those grubber kicks, they were coming in from behind and stuff, you know, they need to be, he needs to be hanging back just that tiny bit extra. And it was weird to see someone who's grown up playing fullback most of his junior career to be up in the line like that. I just did not understand.
That's only a relatively new tactic in the last probably 8 years, having 13 players in the line, like including your fullback. That's only a new sort of tactic they brought out. Like the Storm started all that with Billy Slater, but I don't know. The good teams find you out. They just look up and go, "There's no one there." They scrub it through. So you got to sort of pick your times to be up there. And I guess he's just learning that.
Yeah, with it, I just don't like that formation, especially with the younger side like we've got. Like, like they get caught out way too easy. Like we've got
but two shapes, and then you two overlap. Like with any side these days, that's just how it is. You watch how they set left and right. If you don't have 13 blokes there, you're automatically outnumbered. That's just the way the game is. But you've got to judge when to drop back, you know, and decide when they're going to kick, sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot harder to do than it is, you know, for us saying, "Oh, why didn't he do that?" You know.
Yeah.
It's a hard skill, that one.
Experience.
Like even Pappenhausen gets caught out sometimes, but you know they have a intelligent forward pack where they just take the time away from their kickers.
Yeah. Well, let's have a quick look at the next few rounds, boys. So we got the Warriors and the Roosters. I haven't actually looked past that yet. So looking past that, we've got the Panthers after the Roosters.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah. So you definitely need to win against the Warriors. No doubt about that, because the Penrith have got Cleary back this week. So he's going to have a few games under his belt with this strong-looking Penrith side, which is scary. Then we're back to going the Dogs and the Sharks and then the Bunnies again. So like winnable games after that. But yeah, like we need to be winning these games against like clubs like the Warriors and stuff. And it should have been the Cowboys as well, because from what they showed me first up against the Dogs. They are coming second at the moment, but I still don't see them. I see them. They potentially sneak into the 8, but I still don't see them as a quality side this year. Obviously, we'll cover from
Is that
Cowboys.
the Dogs?
What's that?
Was that the Dogs?
No, the Cowboys.
Oh, Cowboys.
Yeah, like I still don't see them as a quality side this year. They looked really good. If they can perform like that every week, then they're going into the 8. But I don't see them keeping consistent.
They're gonna get a lot of confidence out of the way they played.
Yeah.
On Sunday, and I can see them going pretty well if they put on another good performance this week. It's just going to continue to grow for them, and they're going to find their groove. So, from a Broncos point of view, from a fan point of view, I hope the Cowboys lose this week because I don't want to see them do well.
Yeah, no.
But,
I don't want to talk about them too much because I don't want to give them the time of day because they don't deserve it. But we'll push.
Yeah,
on.
fuck you, Cal.
yeah, especially their fans. Fans are wankers. The Cowboys.
Every single one of them. Yeah, boys. So essentially, I will be slightly easier on my review this game, but the next time we put in a performance like that, I'm gonna go like a rant on this.
Let rip, Sean. Just rip in, mate.
We'll let it rip next time. I can tolerate one performance like that, but when they do it, if they do it like back to back, for example, like we are absolutely letting rip next week if they do it again.
I'm excited.
Yeah. We'll get someone like Lockie on anger management to start throwing out a few F-bombs.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. Him and Aaron at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, give some sort of enjoyment to everyone who hates the Broncos, I guess, right? It might get the viewership up.
Yeah, gives them something to think about, talk about.
Yeah. Anyways, boys, I think we won't touch on it too much ahead because it was an average performance, but hopefully it's just a one-off. But we will do a proper preview again on Wednesday, and I'll probably get that video out on Thursday, and previewing the round again. And yeah, like I said, I was brought back to reality, so I think my tips with the Broncos are going to be a bit more realistic now.
Well, it was a realistic game to win on Sunday, but it's like they put the fucking almost shearers out there.
Oh, the almost shearers got up on the weekend, 40-12, didn't they? It's star. Yeah.
You said that, Corky, not me.
That's all right. I'll claim it.
You dug your hole. You can live in it now.
Anyways, lads, I will see you on Wednesday for a few beers and to preview the round, and look forward, hopefully, to a better performance next week.
Hopefully.
Yes.
All right,
boys.
See you then, lads.
See you later.
Bye.